Today I'm going to tell you which cities Americans think are the best cities in the United States to live in 2024 and 2025.
This is good for us, guys, because we are planning to move to the US.
Move?
No, I'm joking. We're not planning to move to the US.
But we are going to visit.
We're going to visit soon. We're aiming for like February, March, depending on the weather, but we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see what the top 10 places are.
Yeah, let's add it to our bucket list.
I ran a survey and posted a question on this channel, and I asked people to choose one of the 100 largest cities in the United States where they would be willing to live. You know, buy a house or rent a place and call it home. I agreed with 8 on this list, 2 not so much.
Let's see.
We had a little over 2,300 responses.
Oh, wow.
I did find it strange that a handful of cities didn't even get a single vote. Shout out to you, Tulsa and Stockton. I took the top 10 and then I looked up the stats that people would be concerned with when moving to these cities, and I added those to the video. I did take out the crime stats because they all had decent crime stats, so there's no real point in looking at those. Just assume they're average or better. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look.
Let's go. Green Bay. Okay.
Number 10, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Forget your typical shoreline with palm trees and sandy beaches. Green Bay, Wisconsin is where it's at. They've been getting pretty popular in recent years. Sure, you might need to invest in a good snow shovel and a pair of ice skates, but where else can you experience the thrill of a Packers game, the deliciousness of cheese curds, and the warmth of Midwest hospitality all in one place? Green Bay is a city where the beer flows like the Fox River, the fish fries are legendary, and the locals are so friendly they'll typically invite you over for a bratwurst and a game of sheephead long before they find out you're a serial killer. So if you're looking for a place with a unique charm, a vibrant spirit, and a love for things that include cheese, Green Bay is the hidden gem you've been looking for. Just remember, wear sweaters, ladies. Green Bay has a population of about 110,000 residents, with the average home going for around $251,000, and the average commute time is 22 minutes. 65 people voted for Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Green Bay must be quite popular then. 65 votes. That's a lot for 10th place. So that's a lot of people that credit. Unless 65 people live there and they are biased, who knows?
Maybe.
Seems alright though. It does seem alright. North Carolina.
Number 9, Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte, where the sweet tea is always there, like the traffic on I-77 at rush hour. This is another city that has picked up steam in the popularity department over the last, I'd say, 10 years. People really like Charlotte. Sure, you'll spend an hour getting to the grocery store, but at least you'll have plenty of time to perfect your southern drawl while you're sitting in traffic. That is the biggest knock to Charlotte in a lot of people's experience, mine included.
What's your thoughts on like skyscraper buildings and like them kind of areas that are like heavy on like tall buildings, city life basically? Do you like it?
I mean, obviously we're from London, so we're used to the city, but I like a mix of both. I like city and I like greenery. So
I'm more a fan of greenery. Like, I'd rather be in a quiet location. Not exactly a forest, but just like fields, like just... I'm not saying I have to live right next to fields, but more away from the busyness and the crowds.
Yeah. I like a mix of both.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised. It's been 2 years since I was there, and I've heard the traffic's just got worse. But yeah, the traffic is pretty rough. Most other things about Charlotte, pretty good. Especially the people. They're really nice, for the most part. Now, that's something that you say, but everyone's had a different experience. I normally try and stay away from saying anything like that, because you just get those people in the comment section that have no social skills and don't know how to make friends, and they talk about how it's very unfriendly. God, I love YouTube. Always an adventure. Speaking of adventures, Charlotte is a great place to be. A lot of good food, a lot of good people. Go to a Bojangles, you might even see a NASCAR driver or two. Charlotte has a population of almost 900,000 residents, with the average home value being right around $401,000.
See, when there's more people in a location, there's more demand, prices go up. Look how expensive that is compared to the last place.
Here's one negative about them. It's the traffic. I talked about it before. The average commute time in Charlotte is 34 minutes. The average in the US is about 21 minutes. Charlotte got 71 votes.
Lexington, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Fried
Great,
chicken.
Lexington, Kentucky. Now, this is the first one that surprised me, and I kind of don't agree with it. Statistically, they're okay, but they're definitely not one of the best in the nation. And here's another thing. We've hardly ever talked about Lexington on this channel. Over 1,000 videos, 6 years of making videos, and I think they've come up 2 or 3 times. Don't quote me on that, but it's pretty low. But here they are. Lexington, where the grass is blue, the horses are fast, and the bourbon is always at its best. It's a city that's not afraid to embrace its southern charm while keeping it modern. Lexington is a place where you can wear your finest suit to the races and then don your denim overalls for dinner.
See, this guy saying he don't like it and he don't agree with it, and it's only come up on his channel 3 times during the whatever years and 1,000 videos. Looking at this, out of the 3 that I saw, I would choose this over the other 2 personally. That's me. So it's just everyone's
I
different.
think it's quite unfair because why do you choose this out of the other 2?
The greenery, look at the fields, are beautiful. It's like, it reminds me of that cowboy style.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I mean,
You
the
sort
reason
of
why I
wheat,
said it
the
is because
large wheat.
he's choosing certain clips to show.
Yeah, but he shows other clips for the other ones.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that the other places may have some form of greenery as well.
They look more city life.
Yeah.
I like this kind of stuff. Like everyone's different, you know. Like just because he don't agree with it, don't mean his opinion is right.
Yeah.
It's a town that's proud of its horses, its history, and its hospitality. And then, of course, there's basketball that has its own place in all of Kentucky, really. Not sure which you could say they live and breathe for more. Is it the horses or is it the basketball? Lexingtonians bleed blue for their Wildcats, and game day is
Wildcats,
practically
the
a
team.
religious experience. And I think that's part of the reason people want to live there. It's got this southern charm, it's got its quirkiness, and it's a decent city. The statistics aren't there, though, for me to think it's one of the best, and everyone wants to move there, but they made the list. Lexington has a population of about 328,000 residents. The average home value is about $303,000. The average commute time is only 25 minutes, and it got 76 votes.
There we go. See? Colorado, Boulder.
Number 7, Boulder, Colorado. Boulder is a magical land where the streets are paved with organic granola and the air is perpetually
That looks
infused
nice.
with a faint scent of the devil's lettuce. The locals, clad in a kaleidoscope of tie-dye and fleece, spend their days scaling sheer rock faces, perfecting their downward dog poses, and discussing the merits of various microbrews.
This sounds like a fats kind of location.
Yoga.
Because you do yoga.
Yeah.
Are you liking what you see so far?
I guess so.
The greenery, the scenery
I like the
is very
mountains,
nice.
but the buildings are looking a bit old.
Yeah, but the mountains are incredible.
Yeah.
You'll find more Teslas than any other city in the nation. And it's not uncommon to see a Prius sporting a bumper sticker that says something to the effect of, "My other car is a mountain bike." But if you're looking for a place where hiking boots are considered acceptable office attire and conversations about kombucha are a daily occurrence, then Boulder is your Shangri-La.
Looks all
Just
right.
remember, pack your reusable water bottle and a healthy sense of humor. If you haven't picked up on it yet, Boulder is filled to the brim with hippie liberals. Not saying that's a bad thing, I'm just telling you that's where they're all at. Later on in this list, we're going to see the other side of that coin in Colorado. The population of Boulder is about 122,000. Like
Low.
I've said in past videos, we're just talking about the city. The entire metro areas of these places are much bigger. The metro for Boulder is about 330,000 with the whole Front Range. That includes Denver and all the other ones. That's like 5 million people. We're just talking about the cities themselves. The average home value in Boulder is $1.02 million.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a little pricey up there.
Why?
But it's beautiful. The average commute time is about 25 minutes, and 91 people voted for Boulder.
That's expensive, man. Can't afford that. San Diego, California.
Number 6, San Diego. San Diego isn't just a city, it's a lifestyle disguised as a zip code. Where else can you find surfers sharing waves with Navy SEALs while tech bros look at women on the beach that they'll never be able to talk to? It's a
Lol.
place where the weather forecast is always the same. Perfect. This one surprises me a little bit. I mean, is it in the top 10 best places to live to? Some people think so. I mean, the weather is great, and that's what draws a lot of people in, and it's a relatively clean town. for being a major
Looks
city.
nice.
It's definitely the best of the 3 major metro areas we have in California. When you're up against San Francisco and Los Angeles, that's not really hard to do. San Diego is definitely one of the larger cities on this list, both in size and population. The population of San Diego is about 1.4 million residents,
Wow.
with
That's
the
a
entire
lot.
metro area having about 3.3 million. The average
Wow.
home value here is about $1.03 million.
Average.
Yeah, it costs a little bit to stay in a coastal paradise. The average commute time is 29 minutes. That's kind of rough. San Diego got 119 votes.
Pricey, the last 2. Alabama.
Number 5,
Alabama.
Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville, where the Rockets are big and the Southern hospitality is even bigger.
That's what she said.
Forget Silicon Valley. Huntsville is like Nerdvana of the South, where pocket protectors are considered standard attire. Huntsville has more PhDs per capita than anywhere else in the country, so you're almost guaranteed to find someone that'll help you with your homework. But yeah, that is a real thing. They have more PhDs than any place else in the
Damn,
country,
some
and
smart
that's because
place.
of the NASA connection. All the rockets that were built all the way back to sending people to the moon to today, that goes on in and around Huntsville, for the most part.
So all these people thinking, if I want to work for NASA, I need a PhD because they got the most PhDs in the area. So they need a degree, a qualification to be able to work for a place like that.
I'm sure they do other parts of it elsewhere, but this is like Rocket City, USA. That's what
Wow.
they call it. It's actually just Rocket City. I don't know why I threw USA on there. It sounds like it belongs there, doesn't it? It's Rocket City. Huntsville is definitely not like the rest of Alabama. It's like an anomaly, and it's been getting more and more popular over the last handful of years. It's a really nice place to live. They've got a population of about 237,000 residents, and the average home here goes for about
That's more normal.
281,000. So it's a nice place to live. They've got a lot of tech jobs and a lot of tech workers, and it's still relatively affordable. Normally, when a place just blows up with tech jobs, the prices go through the roof on everything from milk to houses to lap dances. But yeah, the average home value is $281,000.
It's because tech jobs paid a lot of money. So generally, people want to move to where tech jobs are. But yeah, that's really affordable.
Yeah.
The average commute time, only 22 minutes. I think I know why this one made the list.
Yeah, clearly.
Affordable, a decent place to live, great jobs, and you don't cry while you're stuck in traffic 3
Yeah.
days a week.
That's
Huntsville,
sick.
Alabama got 123 votes.
Wow. North Carolina.
Number 4, Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh, bless its little southern heart, has become a hotspot for people looking for a fresh start and great healthcare, apparently. They got some nice hospitals here. Another thing about Raleigh, I don't know why, but a handful of YouTube creators have moved to Raleigh over the last 4 or 5 years.
Maybe
they
we should
leave
be
Los
next.
Angeles or Chicago, wherever they're from, and just head to Raleigh. It's a nice place, I get it, but I don't see why so many are just moving to this one place. That's just the ones I know of. This city has a lot of oak trees, and these oak trees have witnessed it all. From the first Krispy Kreme donuts being devoured to the latest tech startups ping pong tournament. Raleigh isn't just a place to live, it's a choose your own adventure novel. There's a lot of things to do in Raleigh. I think one of the biggest appeals to Raleigh, it's got decent stats and all that stuff, and they do have great healthcare, but life's a little bit slower there, while at the same time it's still a very modern and advanced city. Normally when you have something that's, got a lot of tech and a lot of different things like that, it's a hustle.
You just answered the reason why a lot of YouTubers move there, because it's modern, but it's a slow lifestyle where not all YouTubers want to be in that LA, Vegas strip.
Fast-paced lifestyle.
YouTubers make money from their home
Yeah.
if they're vlogger, depending on their content.
Yeah.
They're not quote going into an office if they don't need to. They could do it from their home. So that's your answer, that they want a modern but slower life where they can live their slow life pace,
And a peaceful life as well.
a peaceful life, make their money through YouTube, but have all the modern facilities. That's the reason.
Everything is just hustle and get stuff done. It's not really that way in Raleigh. It's kind of laid back. Raleigh has a population of about 479,000 residents, with the entire metro area having about 1.5 million. And that whole entire metro area is the Raleigh-Durham-Chapel Hill metro area. You'll also hear some people refer to it as the Research Triangle. Only outsiders call it that. Locals really don't. The average home value in Raleigh is $444,000, and the average commute time is 28 minutes. Raleigh got 129 votes.
Popular. Number 3. Top 3 now. Let's see. The big boys.
Number 3, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Earlier, we talked about the hippie nirvana of Boulder, Colorado. This is the yin to that yang. This is the other side of that coin I was talking about. Colorado Springs is very much conservative Republican. Again, I'm not talking politics here. I'm just telling you what's there. I don't care how you vote. I will make fun of both parties. Colorado Springs is south of Denver, and it's not in the Denver metro area. It sort of is, and most people consider the Front Range, which is the eastern side of the Rockies in Colorado. They consider that Front Range there from Fort Collins to maybe Pueblo. Sort of like a metro area. It's weird. It's not a metro area, but they kind of treat it like one. One interesting thing about that, a couple months back, I read an article and then I did a little research on it. They're planning on having this train system. I don't know if it's going to be a bullet train, but it's going to be pretty fast. That'll go from like Colorado Springs up to Fort Collins, which I think is pretty cool. If you don't know, I'm a big train advocate. Colorado Springs has a population of about 497,000 residents. Their own personal metro area has about 755,000, but that whole Front Range, like I said earlier, has about 5 million. The average home value in Colorado Springs is about $459,000. Now, that's kind of up there a little bit, not compared to some of the ones on this list, but this is a great place to live. Crime is relatively low. They've got good schools. Traffic isn't insane.
It looks like a good place.
The average commute time is 27 minutes. 169 people voted for Colorado Springs.
What's a Boise, is it?
Number 2, Boise, Idaho. Boise, where the potatoes outnumber the people and the hatred for Californians hangs heavy in the air. This quirky city is a hidden gem for those seeking a unique blend of urban adventure and an outdoor oasis. Boiseans, as they're called, I think I pronounced that right, they're a pretty friendly bunch. Just don't tell them you are from California and you should be okay. I mean, it's better if you tell them you were abducted by aliens and they dropped you off out there by 5 Mile Gulch or something. Boise, like I said, is a quirky little place. Where else can you find a giant potato statue that doubles as a hotel? They've got a nice downtown art scene fueled by potatoes and a local legend about a giant sturgeon named Herman who roams the river. Boise, though, is a great place to live, and it's got all the right stats in all the right places. Their prices have gone up a little bit over the last decade or so because it got a little popular. I wouldn't say it's slowed down, but it's not going at the pace that it was before. Which, if you talk to the locals, I'm sure they'd be happy if it went down a little bit. Boise has a population of about 236,000 residents with a median home price of $489,000. The average commute time is about 24 minutes, and 228 people voted Boise as the best place to live if they had to pick.
Now number 1.
All right, before we get to number 1, if you're thinking about moving to one of these cities, there's a link for Home and Money in one of the best. Number 1.
Kansas.
And number 1, Overland Park, Kansas. Overland Park, Kansas, where the buffalo roam and the soccer moms carpool. This suburban oasis boasts more roundabouts than a European vacation and enough barbecue joints to induce a meat coma. Forget the hustle and bustle of like the big cities like Kansas City. In OP, the most pressing concerns is finding the perfect parking spot at the farmer's market. But don't be fooled. This tranquil facade, beneath the surface lies a community of die-hard sports fans ready to paint the town red.
That's why this won number 1, because all the sport fans who are die-hard voted for this to be number 1. Because, you know, sport fans, we know how serious they are. Yeah. They're hardcore. They voted this number 1.
Blue, depending on the team. Overland Park over the last decade has been showing up over and over in different lists like the best suburbs, the best places to live, all those things. I was in Overland Park probably 6 years ago. I was in a field across from like some housing areas and a cop pulls up. He's all, "Are you about to put up a drone?" I thought, "Oh, great. I'm going to get a ticket or something like that." He's all, "All right, just keep them away from the houses. We got a lot of families over there and I don't want to get calls." So I was like, done. Overland Park is definitely one of the best places to live in the United States right now. It is in the Kansas City metro area, and it's a relatively new city. It was only incorporated in 1960. More than 65% of the homes in Overland Park were built after 1990. Overland Park has a population of about 197,000 residents, with the average home going for about $441,000.
Okay, that's
the
reasonable,
average commute time is only 18 minutes, and 259 people voted.
That's why it's number 1.
That's amazing.
After looking at the top 10 places to move, was there any that stood out to you? That you thought, you know what, that would be nice?
I don't know. If I was to move to a city in America, I'd have to look more into it in terms of the food, the transport, accessibility.
But none of them were like wow to you. There was two that I liked. I had two that I liked. The one that they called the Rocket City, the one where all the rockets are. I felt like that was a good place to live. And the one that he said he doesn't know why YouTubers are moving there. That looks like a good place to live. Modern,
I did like the one
quiet.
with the mountain.
Yeah.
But would I move there?
Well, that's your favourite on the list then.
I need to look deeper into it.
Guys, thanks so much for the recommendation. Let us know what place you liked on that list. And if there's any that you think, how the hell did that not make this? Comment the areas below. We're going to look into them because we are visiting the US soon. And we want to get you lots of ideas of where we should go. Don't forget to like and subscribe. For now, peace out.
Bye.